Hey there, students. Thank you for joining me for this presentation. Today we're looking at United States History, Semester A, and we're actually looking at Unit 3, which is A Union in Crisis, and we're focusing on the Jim Crow South tutorial. Please remember to have your notebook ready. This way you are able to take notes as we are moving through this tutorial. And for this particular tutorial, the objective is that you will explain the establishment of Jim Crow laws in the South. Let's move on. We are now on page 12 of the Jim Crow South tutorial. In this case, the lesson activity, Jim Crow, and let's read the directions here. Read the instruction for this self-check activity, type in response to each question, and check your answers. At the end of the activity, write a brief evaluation of your work. Let's go to the activity part so you'll know what to do here. Think about the information you have read and the specific Jim Crow laws you reviewed. Write a brief article from the perspective of a specific time, place, and race describing Jim Crow and the fate of Reconstruction. Make sure your article reflects the likely attitudes and opinions of the perspective you have chosen. So you need to say, obviously, the time, place, the race. In this case, you could be a white person in the South or in the North, or you could be an African American person in the South or in the North, and then you write the article. Remember, you are pretending, you're putting yourself like if you are in that era. And if you are an African American and you see that Reconstruction is not going well, what are you going to say? If you are a white female or male and you are happy that Reconstruction is not really happening, what are you saying? So make sure you provide at least a good to 1 to 2 paragraph of your article, and make sure you have your time, your place, and your race. And once you're done with that, you can move on to the next page of this tutorial. We are now on page 18 of the Jim Crow South tutorial, and this is your lesson activity, violence and lynching. Let's read here the activity part so you'll know what to do. Activity: write a newspaper article for Ida B. Wells newspaper about lynching in the South during the Jim Crow era. This is a painful situation because obviously you're talking about the death of an individual, a person, and it was something very horrible. And I know that many of you may be or may have trouble in describing this, but based on the information that you have read so far, or you can actually do more research online, there's a whole bunch of information about this. Please provide an article and you are describing the events. You describe who you are, you describe where did this happen, what city, what day, and you also describe the events. How did it happen? Why did this person get maybe dragged on the streets and taken to be lynched or killed? So you need to provide here a good paragraph in order to get credit for this assignment. And again, I know this is a complicated topic. I would be a little bit challenged to write it, but it puts you in that situation and makes you understand how difficult it was for African Americans during this time period. Let's move on. We are now on page 29 of the Jim Crow South tutorial, and this is the lesson activity on segregation. Let's read the activity part so you'll know what to do. Write an editorial for a modern newspaper about the issue of modern segregated proms. Be sure to take a stance for or against this prom. Use information you have read in this tutorial to support your argument. This is again another personal article that you have to write, and in this case about proms. You have to be able to put yourself in the situation, and you have to explain in your writing, how do you feel about this? Do you agree with this segregated prompts? Do you feel that it's causing harm? And if it is, how is it causing harm? Or if it's not, how is it not causing harm? Please provide a good 2 paragraph here in order to prove your point. I know it's difficult to put yourself in a situation like this where people are getting mistreated, people are seen in a bad way, or people are isolated because of maybe the color of their skin, and it's something delicate that we have to look at, but it's part of the tutorial, and you have to put it together and this will help you comprehend how many people may feel or how people felt a long time ago when they were experiencing all of these horrible injustices. And this is the end of this tutorial. Make sure that you are doing your best, and I will see you soon.